Right, and I actually recorded the cloud this time. I didn't make the same mistake I did last time, so that's good.
So
All right, welcome everybody.
do we
Sorry, go
have
ahead.
do we have the recording from the last time stored on your local computer, because we like to upload it to YouTube?
I sent it. I think it was to Bruno, and it was uploaded to the YouTube.
Perfect. Thank you.
So we're good there. So yeah, we do have that recording available. So this one is recording now. So we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to the the Jenkins governance meeting for November 25th, or not 25th, November 10th, 2025. Man, still early here for some reason. My brain's not working yet. Apologies. Um, so in terms of upcoming calendar, we have our next weekly release, which is tomorrow. That should be 2.536. I don't think there's anything blocking that, so just continue as normal. Our next LTS coming out is 2.528.2. That should be out this Wednesday, so that's great. We do have a release lead already, and that should go. I don't think there's anything blocking that either, so it should be good to go. One other item coming up is this Thursday is Jira maintenance. This is issues.jenkins.io. There's a status page with the information about what's going on and what's going to happen there. So, but that'll be this Thursday. So it'll be down for at least a short period of time. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Mark. Appreciate that. Any other calendar events that anybody has that were missed?
Well,
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
so we've got, we didn't put it there, but I guess we should put, Contributor Summit is scheduled for 30th of January 2026. Bruno's posted a draft for the agenda, and we're getting suggestions, proposals, and confirmations from people that they will be attending.
What was the date on that again? Sorry.
30th of January 2026.
Awesome. Great. Let's go to news with an elections update. So we had 69 registered voters. Last year we had 82, I believe, so we're down a little bit this year. That's I don't think we can read anything into that really. Just maybe we need to do a better job of talking about elections beforehand. I don't know, but something to think about for next year perhaps is how we can maybe get some more people involved within the elections process. We had 2 board seats up for election, which were Mark and Basil, and then the 5 officer seats. There's only 1 contested seat, which is the documentation officer. I still need to notify the other candidates directly that they won, quote unquote, uncontested for their positions. We had 2 candidates for the documentation officer, which is Chris and Birate. Is that how you say that, Mark? Do you know?
Birajit.
Oh, I
Phonetic.
apologize. Okay. Can you scroll down just a little bit?
Sure. Let's see.
So the winners in the uncontested elections are Basil and Daniel for the board. They will be joining the board. Basil coming back, obviously. Daniel will be a new member. So those will be the new board members for the next term, the 2-year term. For officers, these were pretty much uncontested. These other ones were uncontested. We had Stefan, Tim, and Damien for events, release, and infrastructure officer, respectively. We did not have a candidate for security officer. However, Wadek contacted me and said there was some possible communication error, and he actually did want to participate as the security officer in the elections. And since there was no other candidate, I'm not sure how we handle that, whether he can just continue in that role, Any thoughts on that? My thought was, since there was no other candidate, it was an uncontested, or there's no one running, that having him fill that position would work fine, as he's had experience there and so forth. But I don't know how that. I didn't get a chance to look at the governance document to see if there's anything related to that that type
Yeah.
of situation. So if anybody else knows any information about that, that'd be great to hear.
Yeah, the document doesn't describe anything like that. I think it's well within our rights as a board to say, yes, we acknowledge and accept Vodek's willingness to serve as security officer. I'm raising my hand, yes. If others object, I guess they should say no, but otherwise I think we can safely assume, actually we should just agree. So Valentin and Alex Brandis, are you two both willing to support Vodek as security officer?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure, definitely.
Great. So I think we have a go there.
Great. All right. I'll follow up with Vodek and make sure I follow through on that one. All right. Oh, thanks. Thanks for adding that. Okay, next action items. Basil isn't here, so we'll skip that one. Mark, you have one to propose further definition of sponsorship tiers. Any update on there or anything you want to cover there?
No, and my apologies. I may get to it before my term on the board ends. We'll see. I will.
Okay.
I will try.
If not, we can reassign the task as well. So no worries. Next one also, have you talked to
I haven't
Tyler
talked
Corey
to
yet?
Tyler, but I will.
Okay.
That's one I want to talk to anyway. So I will talk to him over the course of the next week or two.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, next community activity. I don't know if you've seen on the mailing list, there's some requests from Tim to transition away from Jira for the Jenkins core components to using GitHub issues. So if you haven't been following that discussion on the developer list, they're doing some testing with some tooling to help that transition. It seems like it's something that folks want to do. And I think a lot of plugins have kind of been going that way as well. So I know this is just currently Jenkins core components, but there was some talk about providing some tooling for plugins, but not making it something that but allowing each plugin owner to make that decision and make that transition with the tooling available. So that's just something interesting. There is a mailing. Mark put a link to the mailing list thread here that discusses it and some of the things that are going on and issues. It looked like the tooling was pretty good about importing things and making sure it referenced the original JIRAs as possible and attachments and comments and all that stuff. So if you have any concerns about that, take a look at the mailing list thread and respond there.
Yeah, I was impressed. The one place I thought might be a sticking point was not a sticking point. Daniel Beck said yes, he was in favor of it. I was assuming the security team, because they have to deal with things that are very sensitive on the security side that they cannot disclose, and they've got very well engineered processes in Jira to handle it. But apparently, if he's willing, that for me is a big plus in favor of yes, I'm willing, absolutely.
Good, excellent. Next is Java 25 support. So a couple weeks ago, that was the support for that was included in the weekly release. Looks like 50% of the top 250 Jenkins plugins are already working with Java 25. So thank you to all those who did that work and got that testing in place. I think Mark, you submitted a pull request to at least one of my plugins. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
and then there's some other pull requests in progress for more plugins. So I don't think there's anything blocking the Java 25. So probably, I don't know if there's anything. I know in the Windows installer I need to update to allow Java 25, but I'm not sure if any other installers or anything like that need to be updated.
Well, we need documentation updates. There are a lot of things that still need to be updated. Core supporting it is certainly necessary, it's not sufficient. We're not done. We've got a lot. The container images aren't available yet with Java 25,
Mm,
et cetera, et cetera. So we've got lots to do.
yeah, but it's nice to have that in. It seems like it's going a lot faster with these new Java releases than it did like from 8 to 11 or 11 to 17. So that's great. All right, next is the community plugin maintainers proposal. Just update here, the Java 25 stuff is not using the CPM process because there are several people who are not available for that. So it's just kind of the Java 25, as we discussed, is just kind of as people have time to work on it for plugins and things like that, that'll get done. So I guess this is just still more follow-up for the Java 25 stuff, but looks like the LTS will be January 7th that has Java 25. So we don't have a timeline for plugins, but that's a push just because we want to get it updated to the most recent Java and get that going. All
I have a
right.
quick question related to that. So does this mean that we will start slowly to retire Java 17 for core as well? Or do we have any
To
dates yet, or?
We don't have dates. The 2+2+2 Java support plan proposed this as a transition period where usually we would only be supporting one Java version or two Java versions at a time.
Mhm.
During this period, we'll actually support three. Java 17 eventually does need to drop off, but I consider that an independent activity separate from Java 25.
Okay.
So my initial assumption had been like March or April of next year we would end support for Java 17, but it could go longer than that. Java 17 itself, by the Java suppliers, will continue to be supported for a number of years after we've ended support. We're dropping support just because supporting 3 JDKs is more than we're ready to do. Did that
Okay.
answer your question,
Yeah,
Valentin?
perfect. Thank you.
Are there any features in Java 25 or upcoming JVMs that would be helpful?
I'm not sure I'd call them helpful, but they are real. And as one example, we get a message now that there are some usages in Xstream that are listed as unsafe, and we may be forced to fork Xstream ourselves and remove those invalid usages. But that's out of scope of the support Java 25 project because those are just warnings right now.
Gotcha. Okay. On to governance topics. So just as a status report on elections, we did a little bit already. Voting is in progress right now. 29 people have voted so far for the documentation officer. I need to send out a follow-up. We're getting close to halfway through the voting period. So just to follow up kind of in the middle is what I was planning on doing, just to remind people to vote. I don't think it can show me the results. I guess I couldn't publish that anyway at this point, but
Right.
Until the end of it, I don't see anything, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Mark, do you want to give a status update on the contributor summit?
Yeah, so Bruno's proposed the draft agenda. Thanks very much, Bruno. Much appreciated. As far as I know, Alyssa has requested the table at FOSDEM, and she has definitely confirmed the venue at Beta Cowork. The board, 1 or 2 meetings ago, approved the $250 expenditure. I've created a spreadsheet that's linked there with a proposal for how we do the prioritization of who should attend, who should be funded, and where the source of their funding. And that sheet, I'd like each of you to be able to edit it. Alex, I think you'll need to click the request permission. Valentin, I believe I granted you permission already. And Alex Brandis, I believe I granted you permission already. So the idea is relatively quickly here. So I'd say before end of November, we need to decide the priorities we want for who should be attending and who should be funded. Be sure that we don't exceed the $12,000 budget we allocated for it, and be sure that we confirm with the people they're willing to attend. are there questions from other board members or others? Are there things that we need to address?
I think all that sounds great.
Okay. And
Thank you for doing that, Mark.
I will definitely be there. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a great contributor summit. That's
All right. Awesome. Next one is the JFrog Artifact Reduction Project. Mark, that also has your name next to it. Can you give us an update there as well?
This one's more challenging. It's not as happy a story as I would like. JFrog sponsors our artifact repository. They do that for many open source projects, but they've set an upper bound on the bandwidth that projects are not to use more than 10 terabytes a month. When they contacted us 5 or 6 months ago, we were pushing 50 terabytes a month. They said, hey, this has to stop. You've got to reduce it back down. We've successfully reduced it by a series of improvements to Jenkins, by requests to some detected misusers. We're now in the 15 to 20 terabytes per month range, but when we look at the data, we don't see a lot of hope that we're going to be able to reduce it to below 10. The Jenkins project's own use is already pushing the 10 terabyte limit. And so we've got to discuss it further with JFrog if they're willing to make a special exception for the Jenkins project or if something else has to happen. I continue to negotiate with cloud providers and others trying to get their customers to stop abusing our system. That's not always as fast or as positive as I had hoped, but there's some progress there, and we'll continue to monitor it. There are also improvements that the Jenkins project itself can make that haven't been made yet. That's got to be an infrastructure activity, and infrastructure right now has to focus first and foremost on other projects rather than this one. So that's my status report. This large percentage of bandwidth from a single AI company that I can actually delete, we've gotten that resolved.
Great. I'll remove that.
Great, thank you.
Was that resolved using the robots.txt like thing?
As far as we can tell, that was the thing. They actually were willing to honor that, and either that or they filled their caches and stopped asking. And I don't care which of those two it is. The request seemed reasonable again.
Gotcha.
We had
Thank
a similar problem with some IPs from ChinaNet, where they burst a bunch of usage for a few days and then stopped. And we suspect it was, again, an AI tool or an AI scraper scraping all of the data, and then they went away.
Interesting. The days we live in, right?
Right.
All right. Question, do we need to go over specific cloud expenses and plans in this meeting? They're gone over in the infrastructure meeting.
They are.
So
and if there are questions, we can certainly discuss them, but this is just placed here for documentation purposes, for record keeping. No need to review them in detail.
that's what I was thinking, but I just want to double check. All right, CDF membership drive. Mark, you're on that one too.
Yeah. Okay. So this one we've got good news in that it looks like we are going to get some help from the Linux Foundation sales team to try to persuade companies to join CDF. They're working through it right now, negotiations. CDF's a part of Linux Foundation. Linux Foundation wants CDF to be strong. CDF wants to be strong, but in order to do that, we need somebody who will actively recruit new members. And so that's ongoing discussion. Other than that, that's it.
All right. And I checked to make sure my company was a Linux Foundation member, so I'm going to work on getting them to be a CDF member as well. We'll see if I can do that.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks.
All right. Any opens that anyone wants to bring up that we didn't cover already?
None from me.
So
All right.
perhaps just on my side, there was end of October the GSOC Mentor Summit in Munich. So was really good experience. So we might also with Srinivas write a blog post about it.
Oh, glad you mentioned blog post. I've got one as well. So that was that was an expenditure I believe that the board already approved. We've got to be sure that Valentin and the other person get reimbursed for that expense.
Yep.
Great. So I had another blog post topic. You should be aware that Slider VM is a component that uses the Firecracker tool, the same tool that's used by GitHub and others to launch micro VMs. They're interested in possibly doing a blog post on how you can use Firecracker to run cloud-style agents on a Jenkins controller with very, very rapid start and stop. They've got some very interesting success stories already to tell. CNCF is using it to do their rapid start and stop of their GitHub action runners. And one other large open source project, same thing. So I'll continue working with that. The contact at the company is Alex Ellis, and I'll keep in contact with Alex to discuss further how we get it. Firecracker is a really an elegant, interesting technique to get virtual machines very, very quickly and tear them down very quickly.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Any other topics? Okay, just as a reminder, the next meeting December, Alexander Brandes will be leading. I don't remember the exact date on that, but it's on the Jenkins calendar. So that's what's up. I'll be doing January, and then Valentin will be February, Basil March, and Daniel will be April as new board members. So let me turn off recording.